Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be walking through a little bit about the Solar 9354-2 transient generator. During today's video, we're going to begin by talking a little bit about this test system. Then we're going to go ahead and walk through some of the different connections. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and start up the unit and modify some different testing criteria. Alright, so now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the front side of the equipment. Here's the front side of the Solar 9354-2 test system, which is commonly used for MIL-STD-461 CS116, as well as RTCA DO-160 Section 22 testing. It provides 6 damped sinusoidal waveforms, meeting the requirements in CS116, as well as 3 double exponential pulses for RTCA DO-160 Section 22. The model we're using today is the Solar 9354-2. Solar also makes a 9354-1. However, we're using the -2 variation for the video today. Now, one of the great features about the 9354-2 is it provides capabilities for both CS116 and RTCA DO-160. Depending on the testing capabilities, the 1 MHz and 10 MHz damped oscillatory waveforms can be used in some situations for RTCA DO-160 Section 22 testing. Now let's go ahead and let's open up the datasheet and user manual and provide some test levels that can be expected with the Solar 9354-2. One thing that you do want to be aware of when you are doing Section 22 testing with the Solar 9354-2 is that damage can occur to the associated 1 MHz and 10 MHz waveforms if you are overdriving it for a significant amount of time. It is fairly common for us to see on some of our transient generators the 1 MHz and 10 MHz not functioning correctly. We would recommend to extend the life to be sure the amplitude is kept below 87%, except when actively testing. Okay, so let's go ahead and start from the right side of the transient generator and let's work our way left, just talking through some of the different connections on the front side of the 9354-2. Starting on the right side of the equipment, you will see the waveform selector being the first item. There are several different options on the selector, the first of which is going to be the accessory output, and then 6 damped sinusoidal waveforms at different frequencies. The first of which is going to be 10 kHz, then 100 kHz, 1 MHz, then 10 MHz, 30 MHz, and then finally 100 MHz. On the left side of the waveform selector switch, you will see our 3 double exponential pulses at 120 microseconds, 70 microseconds, and 6.4 microseconds for DO-160 Section 22. Just to the left of the waveform selector, you will see a little mode box. In that box there, you will see a toggle switch for automatic and manual, as well as a push button for single pulse. Now, should you select the automatic option there, it will provide a rate of 1 pulse per second unless it's been modified otherwise. Just above that, you will see a display that's going to be the reference voltage. Now, working our way left, you will see the amplitude selection knob or the amplitude selection dial, and you will see we have options there from 0 all the way to 100%. Just below that, we have our off-on power switch for our test system. And then to the left of that, we have our output for our 3 double exponential pulses. Alright, so that should just about wrap up the front of the unit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back side briefly. Okay, here's the back side of the Solar 9354-2. There's only a few connections on the back side here, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this quick. On the top side, you'll see the accessory control and the accessory output. And these are going to be used when you're using an external variable frequency module, something like the 9554 series, to add additional frequency ranges for testing. And then just below that, you will find the connection for the power input for the transient generator. Now let's go ahead, let's get everything plugged in and let's turn on the test system. All we've done so far is we've turned on our Solar 9354-2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the waveform selector. So you can see right now we do have it set at 10 megahertz, and we do have our amplitude at 0%. Now when you are going out there and you are doing the calibration as well as testing, you will need to likely increase the amplitude to meet the desired test level, and you just turn the amplitude selector to do that. So let's go ahead and let's turn the amplitude selector to 37% right now. And that looks about right. And you will see on our reference voltage display, you are seeing the voltage increasing until it hits the associated 37% amplitude level. All right, so that same concept can be used for a variety of different damped sinusoidal waveforms, increasing the amplitude to meeting the associated test level. So that should just about wrap it up today, as we've walked through a little bit about the Solar 9354-2 transient generator. We walked through a little bit about the transient generator and the testing capabilities, the different connections and options that are available from the front panel. And then finally, we talked briefly about the operation and adjusting the amplitude to meet the required test level. We appreciate everyone's time, and please keep us in mind if you ever need to rent any MIL-STD-461 CS116 or RTCA DO-160 Section 22 test equipment. Thank you.